Beginning our Japanese vocabulary with greetings and farewells. So before we start on our actual vocabulary, it's important to note that double vowels are a thing in Japanese. So whenever you see these, the key is to hold the sound a little bit longer than you normally would. In English, it wouldn't matter. For example, if you said hello versus if you said hello, it doesn't matter. The word is still hello. However, in Japanese, if you hold these vowel sounds longer, it can actually change the meaning of the word. So, for example, Oki is a last name. You can hear the way that I say the vowels, Oki. The E sound at the end is a little bit longer than the O at the beginning, Oki. However, if I make both of these vowels long, Oki, it's now an adjective meaning big or fat. Trust me, I learned this the hard way when I called my sensei, whose last name was Oki, Sensei Oki. In hiragana, these are often written with two different vowels. So you'll have, in particular, an OU combination and an EI combination. However, it's still going to be pronounced by holding the first vowel a little bit longer. It's simply a spelling convention that helps point out that, hey, this is in fact another vowel, but we're not going to pronounce them differently. So if you see an OU together and an EI together, the first will be pronounced like it's two O's, and the second will be pronounced like two E's. So for example, when we look at our good morning greetings, so the informal version is Ohayo, Ohayo. Even though it's spelled with a Y-O-U at the end, we're still going to pronounce it like it's just an O sound, Ohayo. You'll also notice it sounds an awful lot like the United States, Ohayo. Your O at the end should be substantially longer than the one at the beginning, Ohayo. In order to make this formal, we're going to add an extra word onto the end of our good morning. So this is considered to be a separate word. However, the Japanese, annoyingly enough, don't use spaces between their words. So you're going to write it like it's just one great big long chunk. Okay? So now we have Ohayo gozaimasu. Gozaimasu. Su, whenever it's the last hiragana in a word, you don't pronounce the U sound. You're just going to end with your S. So it's not gozaimasu, it's gozaimasu. Ohayo gozaimasu. Later on in the day, you can switch to konnichiwa, good afternoon. Konnichiwa. Note that when we write it, however, we use the hiragana for ha instead of the hiragana for wa. So this has a very long and complicated backstory as to why. That has to do with really ancient Japanese grammar that just kind of got fossilized into this word. All you really need to know is that we pronounce it konnichiwa, but we write it konnichiha. Same thing with good evening, konbanwa. Konbanwa is written konbanha, even though it's said konbanwa. We also have three farewells. So the formal goodbye, shitsurishimasu. Shitsurishimasu. So here we have that R-E-I combination there in the middle, your third and fourth hiragana. We're going to pronounce that like it's just a very long ri. Okay. And then finally remember that su at the end, we're going to drop our u sound and just say it like an S. Shitsurishimasu. This does take a little bit of practice. It's a hard one to get your mouth around the first couple of times. I highly suggest breaking it down syllable by syllable. Shitsurishimasu. And then start putting it together a little bit faster. Shitsurishimasu. 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 Your informal goodbye, okay, já mata. Já mata. Here we have a long A, but they're both written with A's, so it's really easy to spot. Já mata. You'll note that we use ji, ya, but that E and that ya sound, that Y, are very, very, very similar, so you don't even hear it. Já mata. For that reason, we don't write the I in the romanji. We have to have the I technically in the hiragana because there's no other way to write a J all by itself. So we write it like ji. However, when we pronounce it and when we write the romanji, we skip it because it blends in with that Y. Já mata. And then finally, if you're saying goodbye to someone and you aren't going to see them again for a long time, okay, then we'll use sayonara. Sayonara. Okay. Again, OU combination, we're going to pronounce it like a long O. Sayonara. So a long time, yeah, it can be a little bit subjective. So it kind of depends on how often you normally see that person. So maybe you're talking to your friend who you see every single day, but you're not going to see them over Thanksgiving break. You might use sayonara for that goodbye. So when you say goodbye to them tomorrow because you're not going to see them until next week, which is a long time compared to how often you normally see them. Versus maybe you're going to go visit some family members that you only see a couple of times a year. You might not use sayonara when you leave them after Thanksgiving because you normally don't see them again for several more months, and that's not going to change this time. So it can be a little bit based upon the individual situation and relationship. Okay? However, the emphasis here is it's going to be even longer than normal until we see each other, so we're using a special goodbye just to point out that this is a little bit of a different event going on.